Hey everybody, welcome to Valentine TV. I'm so glad to see y'all. Um, Today I don't know why, but it's something I just want to uh, check on and talk about a little bit about Trump's health because each time I see him, it looks like he's getting worse and worse. He's sounding worse and worse. And seems like I see a little. I mean, I'm detecting a little dementia up there because he's saying different words and yet he can't even complete a sentence. A straight up sentence. It. And and when somebody's talking, he act like ain't nobody talking. But y'all, today's reaction is coming from Ben MEISELAS from the Midas Touch team. Yeah, I wanted to go there this morning. And so I want to let him talk, and then I'll be back with some of my reactions. But for some reason, I was into, I guess I keep hearing JD Vance saying, "Oh, I'm ready for the job. I'm ready for the job. If anything happens, I'm ready. I'm ready." And y'all know, I don't want to go into the other, what I'm thinking about, because they may take the channel down, they may take the video down. I don't know. I just ain't going in that direction. Okay. I hope y'all catch that hint. Anyway, let's go. Let's see. I'm about to end the recording, y'all. Let's see what's going on.
And Donald Trump's schedule today entirely empty. Yesterday he
Did you see it? The schedule today is all the way empty. All the way empty.
ran away from the press when they were asking him questions. The pressure that is mounting based on the release of these Epstein emails, combined with Donald Trump's deteriorating state, is frankly accelerating the rot, the physical and mental rot that we're seeing in Donald Trump. We've been covering his deterioration physically and mentally for some time now, and it seems to be getting much worse. And again, he's struggling to even be able to do simple things like
Oh, I'm sorry.
walk in a straight line.
Y'all remember that darn red carpet. I mean, who can't walk well? He can't walk a straight line. But the point is, I ain't like trying to talk badly about or whatever. He is sick. He is sick. He was even caught with I forgot the machine that you use, but it keeps it's like I think it keeps your veins like open so the blood flow goes good so you can breathe well, but you can't stay awake. He can't stay awake, y'all. He sleeps anywhere. It does not matter. Millions and millions of people are watching and you sleep and in a foreign country. And you sleep and I don't think I want that for a leader. Not me. But y'all do what you want. It don't even matter. But y'all just somebody's health came in my mind today. Here we go. Let's see.
Walk without a chaperone. I mean, when you saw him on that Asia trip, you had to have the new prime minister of Japan, Takaishi. She had to walk him and just show him where to go, and he still managed to kind of wander and try to figure out where he even was. Of course, when he rolled out the red carpet for Vladimir Putin a few months back on that disastrous Alaska trip, he couldn't walk in a straight line. He was doing zigzags. I mean, you have Caroline Levitt, Donald Trump's chief propagandist, saying that it is this like Venus issue. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But it seems to be something much, much deeper than what she says. I mean, she says it's chronic venous insufficiency caused by shaking a lot of hands. No, Caroline, it's much, much worse than that. Just let's talk about the last 24 hours, 48 hours, some of the
So is he the first and only president that ever shook a lot of hands. I mean, y'all called Joe Biden Sleepy Joe. But he shook as many hands. So did Barack Clinton. Every president shook a lot of hands. Probably more than Trump. You know what I'm saying? No. Trump, it's that oxygen in your body. It's the oxygen in your skin. It's in your pores.
Scary signs, if you will. Caroline Levitt was asked about Donald Trump's MRI again. Remember now, for weeks, first they were covering up that he had an MRI. People noticed, though, in Donald Trump's second physical in the past 6 months, it mentioned advanced imaging. And they try to act like, oh, advanced imaging, that always happens during checkups. And it's like, no, it doesn't. Where was that advanced imaging? Was it in the head region? Was it in the chest region? Was it in the legs region? Where was that advanced imaging done? Where was the MRI done? Remember, Trump admitted to the MRI and said, we'll get you the stats, we'll get you the data, the best reports ever. And of course, we never got those reports. And the press keeps on asking, to their credit, can we see these reports? Can we see these reports? And Caroline Levitt's like, I have the report right here. It says great. He's great. No more questions on it. So this is what she said 2 days ago. Let's play this clip.
You recently said you've checked with President Trump about when he needs to get an MRI on his recent trip to Walter Reed. Do you have any more detail on that?
I do, and I'm glad you asked. As stated in the memo provided on October 10th, President Trump received advanced imaging at Walter Reed Medical Center as part of his routine physical examination. The full results were reviewed by attending radiologists and consultants, and all agreed that President Trump remains in exceptional physical health, which I know all of you will see with your own eyes later
this evening. Man, we see it. I still see something is wrong with the President of the United States, y'all. Okay, we gotta do something. Vance is waiting in the wings. Vance and his, y'all know who gonna be there with Vance if he does make it to the White House. Y'all, we can't even let Vance up in there. But the point of the matter is, oh, y'all, this is a mess. I've never seen it like this. This is weird. We got to get it straight for our children. By the time, we ready to get up out of here, we got to have the world, the USA back right for the children, for our kids when they grow up, our grandkids, our great great grands. We can't leave the United States like this. This is crazy.
this evening when he opens up his dinner to the press, and perhaps you will see him when he signs the bill to reopen the federal government. So stay tuned on plans for that.
And then yesterday, J.D. Vance had an interview with Sean Hannity. And this is a line we've been hearing J.D. Vance talk about now during multiple interviews. And especially as we see Trump's health deteriorating, and J.D. Vance seems to almost enjoy saying this. Like, take a look. Also, weird haircut by J.D. Vance here, but he seems to almost enjoy saying it right here, where he goes, look, I serve under Donald Trump. I can see how healthy he is. But if tragedy were to strike, I'm the man for the job. I'm ready if tragedy hits. He lies about everything. So just a weird thing to say. I'm here when we know that the vice president is next in line, but just strange that he keeps talking about when tragedy hits. Here, play this clip right here.
You seem to go with the flow pretty well. Do you have quiet moments? You think about that?
Yeah, honestly, Sean, I try not to. I mean, one, I serve under Donald Trump, who is very healthy.
He casts a pretty big shadow.
He casts a big shadow, but if I served under Joe Biden, I'd probably be worried every minute of every day that he was going to.
Why are they always bringing Biden up? Biden is gone. When he was in there, and at least when the Democrats, big and the Republicans, everybody knew that Joe Biden had dementia, or they got him out of there. But what they doing with this one? Covering it all up. He's sick. He got a machine up under his shirt. Up under his shirt is on the right hand side, like it's going to his heart, it shocks your heart back. You know what I'm saying? Just y'all, something is wrong with Trump. Okay, something wrong with it.
broke and that I'd have to become president. But because I serve a president,
Have a bat phone. Okay, did it just happen?
like I'd never be able to sleep. I'd always have my cell phone as loud as possible. But no, the president, one, he's got a lot of energy. He's extremely healthy. So I don't think about that. Obviously, that's part of the job. Is you've got to be ready if tragedy strikes.
And just so you can see that this is something he's saying quite frequently, here's where he previously said, this was about a month ago, where he says, I feel confident he's in good shape, but if God forbid a terrible thing happens to him and a tragedy strikes, I'm ready to go. And again, he says this over and over again. Here, play this clip.
And why should Americans trust you to lead the country?
Well, I've gotten a lot of good on-the-job training in the last 200 days, but also say that the president is in incredibly good health. He's got incredible energy. And while most of the people who work around the president of the United States are younger than he is, I think that we find that he actually is the last person who goes to sleep. He's the last person making phone calls at night, and he's the first person who wakes up and the first person making phone calls in the morning. So,
shoot, that's what elderly people do. That normally they up before. Up before anybody. And the last ones would know. Most of the time they go to bed pretty early, but they up before anybody, making breakfast, whatever they do, right? So of course Trump gonna be the first one up, I guess. Now, I don't know how he doing now that he's sick. Y'all, he is. Okay? You gotta tell him which way to go, what to do. Lead him on the speech like you start talking so he can follow your lead. That kind of stuff, it is weird, y'all. Weird to me.
Yes, things can always happen. Yes, terrible tragedies happen. But I feel very confident the President of the United States is in good shape, is going to serve out the remainder of his term and do great things for the American people. And if, God forbid, there's a terrible tragedy, I can't think of better on-the-job training than what I've gotten over the last 200.
All right, so you have California Governor Gavin Newsom pointing out that Donald Trump is not in good shape. They said on his medical report back in April that he weighed like 222 pounds. The guy weighs over 300 pounds, in my opinion. Let's just face it. They also said that his health is evidenced by winning golf tournaments. That's like the stupidest thing I've ever read on a medical report. He's really healthy, as evidenced by golf tournament wins. And we also know he cheats when he plays golf. But why would that even be on a report? But you realize that when he had that disastrous interview with Fox with Laura Ingraham, where he started saying, we need 600, very specific on the number, 600,000 Chinese students are needed in our university because they're smarter than American students. That. That's what.
How you gonna say he's smart? They smarter than us and all that kind of stuff. And you supposed to be the president for us. You always supposed to be on our side, no matter what. No matter what. I'm gonna skip up some, okay? I don't want to play the whole thing.
This conference is, nobody could stand in the mud.
And then Laura Ingraham, I don't mean to, I want to be sensitive on how I say this. It almost looks like she's speaking to someone in hospice care, or like someone at a assisted living facility. And so she's there with him. And if you've ever volunteered at an assisted living facility, and you've been there or you've spoken there, I've done that before. And you're being helpful and kind, of course. I'm not suggesting Laura Ingraham is kind in any way, so let me be very clear. But you'll see here, she's like, wow, so where did you learn these skills to do all of this building, Donald? And he's like, as a little boy, I would sit there and I would build things with my daddy. What? Here, play this clip.
And the Marble Man said, I said, do you think you could book match your event? He said, yeah, look at the other one over there, book match. But look at the quality of that job.
Where do you think you developed the attention to architectural detail? Like, at what age did you start realizing that's what you could do?
Yeah, I was involved with my father in building and all this stuff, and my father was a builder. So as a little boy, I'd be sitting there playing with blocks, I guess, and my father would be on the phone, and I'd be listening, I guess. And, you listen, I had a father who was very good at building. He was very good at building things, and so am I. I build better than anybody else. Nobody can build like me.
And then he goes on, and he's like, I built many ballrooms. That's my greatest strength. I might as well do this. Play this clip.
But I'll show you something. This is the equivalent of what I do with the ballroom. I built many ballrooms and many buildings, and that's my greatest strength, actually. Might as well.
Oh, it ain't being the president of the United States. That ain't your greatest strength. Y'all, boy, he is sick. Look at him. Look at his build. Look how his legs. Yeah, I guess I'm used to looking, but I just can tell.
Do this. So this room was in terrible shape. This was done by Jackie Kennedy. Jackie Kennedy Onassis, then Jackie Kennedy, I hope. And she took this area, it's called the Palm Court, And here we had one by one little tiles that were all broken, cheap, out of a box. The walls weren't good. We took it, I restored it. I put in new chandeliers. They had lanterns that were terrible.
I remember this room.
Yeah, it was a nothing room. It was an embarrassment.
There was a seat, a bench right underneath there. Yeah.
To come to the Oval Office, you had to go through this room. It was an embarrassment, okay?
Now, much has been discussed about Donald Trump's interview with Laura Ingraham. I mean, he obviously lies and says that costs are low and he's defeated inflation, and he said all these other horrific things. But I mean, what I just showed you there, he says, I've built many ballrooms and that's my greatest strength. As a ballroom builder? I mean, what are we talking about here, folks? He's saying he's a great ballroom builder? He's a great ballroom builder? What the hell is going on here? And then Laura Ingraham's like, oh, do you like to DJ? Do you like to be a DJ and play music out here? Remember the assisted living facility example? And then he's like, they're in the bushes. The speakers are in the bushes. Play this clip.
Where were speakers? Because I heard this.
All here.
They're in the bushes?
They're all here.
When did you decide you were a frustrated DJ? How long ago was that?
I don't do that much, but I think having good sound is important because we do now news conferences on this space. You know, as you know, you were probably.
Yo, look how he walk. Now he ain't going straight, but just still look how he walk. Watch his legs. The ankles are so swollen. Watch how he walk.
Probably a victim to it. You stand in the grass. Your high heels would be ruined. The women are, walking out without. So I had to make it a hard surface. So I made it the same color as the White House itself, which worked out great. We just moved the tables.
And then he can't even say a sentence, either without lying or just conflating things. And so he's like,
having good sound is important because we do now news conferences on this space. You know, as you know, you were probably a victim to it. You'd stand in the grass. Your high heels would be ruined. The women are, walking out without.
Talking about here, play this clip.
A lot of people are wondering which child would be the best.
In a certain way, they all could take a look at this, fellas. You want to see detail. So, like the sign. Most people just do a sign they paint it on the wall. So that's 1/2 inch thick bronze, carved by a very talented person. And it's brass. It's pure brass. It's 1/2 inch thick brass. And you can't just do that. That's you look at that. That's quality, right? And then we start with George Washington, and we go down to Trump. Pretty cool, right?
But in terms of the bronze or the brass, do y'all realize that with the regime unlawfully changing the name of the Department of Defense to the War Department, that just merely changing all of the signs is going to cost over $2 billion to change?
Yeah, and he want to spend all that on that instead of feeding the hungry, feeding the children, the disabled, the veterans, all of that stuff. He'd rather do all that. Just put names on doors that's going to have to be taken down. You know what I'm saying? You got to take, what? War. Department of War. They're going to, I hope they change it back to whatever. Department of Defense. That sounds better to me. Department of War. Man. That's a war. It's a war president. That's all Trump is. But here, I think she says what I want.
She's like, yeah, this guy's like dementia addled. Here, play this clip.
Donald Trump is dealing with not only dementia, as I see it, but a lot of delusion. He has never had a plan for health care. Right now, the American public views the Affordable Care Act with nearly 70% approval rating, while Donald Trump's approval rating is in the 30s because he has no plan on health care. I was back in my district last week, and my constituents are terrified as they're starting to receive their notifications about their health care premiums doubling, tripling, or worse. It's heartbreaking.
Take a look at these photos right here of the stages of venous insufficiency. I mean, to me,
now look at them. Look at that. I think C5 and C6 are that's Trump. That's Trump's ankles right there. But Trump's ankles look bigger than that. I know this is a picture. I know it's a picture, but the worst ones is 5 and 6. Okay. And what you see under it also, not no darn edema swelling. No. The skin changes. No. It's 5 and 6, y'all. But it's got worse. The ulcers are worse, in my opinion. Okay.
it seems like Trump stage C5, C6 venous insufficiency, in my opinion, when you see Trump's ankles. But here's what Caroline Levitt had to say a few months back. Let's play it.
Many in the media have been speculating about bruising on the president's hand and also swelling in the president's legs. So in the effort of transparency, the president wanted me to share a note from his physician with all of you today. In recent weeks, President Trump noted mild swelling in his lower legs. In keeping with routine medical care and out of an abundance of caution, this concern was thoroughly evaluated by the White House medical unit. The president underwent a comprehensive examination, including diagnostic vascular studies. Bilateral lower extremity venous Doppler ultrasounds were performed and revealed chronic venous insufficiency, a benign and common condition, particularly in individuals over the age of 70. Importantly, there was no evidence of deep vein thrombosis or arterial disease. Laboratory testing included a complete blood count, comprehensive metabolic panel, coagulation profile, D-dimer, B-type natriuretic peptide, and cardiac biomarkers. All results were within normal limits. An echocardiogram was also performed and confirmed normal cardiac structure and function. No signs of heart failure, renal impairment, or systemic illness were identified. Additionally, recent photos of the president have shown minor bruising on the back of his hand. This is consistent with minor soft tissue irritation from frequent handshaking and the use of aspirin, which is taken as part of a standard cardiovascular prevention regimen. This is a well-known and benign side effect of aspirin therapy. And the president remains in excellent health, which I think all of you.
Yeah, look at that. Look at them ankles from the under the kneecap. Look what a crease in the pants. Y'all, he is sick. Look at his feet. He's going to his feet. Then the makeup on the darn hand. Look at that the round. Well, y'all can't see what I'm pointing at. But the round spot right here, I hope y'all can see that. See that? That might be now. That's why she keeps using the word benign and all of that stuff like that. No. And how is it that a person can, I guess she trained to lie, because she's throwing them out there fast. She had a piece of paper written down all the other presidents. We got to see the actual doctor's notes. We got to see the actual doctor's notes and what they found in the blood, and we got to see all of it. Here, we just have to hear it from her mouth. Okay.
Witness on a daily basis here. So the president wanted me to share that note with all of you. I'm happy to take further questions on it.
And here is Donald Trump promising that he's got a great MRI and that he would release it when he was confronted with this a few months back. Let's play it.
Can you read out what Walter Reed mentioned advanced medical imaging? Did you get an MRI? Can you tell us what that was?
I got an MRI. It was perfect. Yeah. I mean, I gave you the full results. We had an MRI, and in the machine, the whole thing, and it was perfect. Yeah.
Can you say what in particular?
You could ask the doctors. In fact, we have doctors traveling up with us, but I think they gave you a very conclusive. Nobody has ever given you reports like I gave you. And if I didn't think it was going to be good, either I would let you know negatively, I wouldn't run, I'd do something. But the doctor said some of the best reports for the age, some of the best reports they've ever seen.
And then just finally, just to remind you too, like in these past few days, he had the leader of Syria in the Oval Office, and Trump was, he thought it was a good, by the way, the leader of Syria is formerly the head of Al-Qaeda in the area, and Trump just takes out his cologne and starts like spraying the leader of Syria with cologne and then starts smelling him. He starts smelling the former head of Al-Qaeda and the leader of Syria who's in the Oval Office. Here, play this clip.
Men's fragrance. Yeah. This is it. No.
That's fine.
Fragrance. Come here. I have one here, sir. Okay.
Well,
So what we'll do is just take that, put it in, and then the other one is for your wife. How many was? One for one. You guys, I never know.
I don't really know what to make of this video, to be honest.
All right, y'all. That's all I got. That's all I'm gonna do. Thank you, Ben MEISELAS. I appreciate it. And y'all can find him on YouTube. Also, you can find him in the description of this video. I hope y'all just put in the comments if y'all think something, if Trump's sick or what's going on with Trump. Do you think he has dementia? What do y'all think about his health? And what do y'all think about if J.D. Vance has to come to the White House and be president, even for a day? Well, how do y'all see JD Vance look and doing? Since he said he had all this good training these past 200 days. And you see what the 200 days been like. Okay? Y'all just let me know. I appreciate y'all coming to join me on Valentine TV. Y'all please like, subscribe, share it if you can. And if you see that darn, what is it? The hype. If you see that hype button, please hype up the video. I appreciate it so much. All right. All right. Thank y'all. And I'll talk to y'all later. Okay. All right. Bye, y'all.